All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're exploring two really powerful answers to one of life's biggest questions. How are you supposed to live a meaningful life? One answer was born from a final meal, and the other was forged in the fire of intense personal suffering. So, what is it? I mean, really think about it. Is there one single guiding principle for a life well lived? It's a question people have been asking forever, and we're about to look at two of the most compelling answers ever given. Okay, so our first answer starts with a final meal, an act between a teacher and his followers that was designed to echo through all of time. Now, this was so much more than just sharing some food. The whole point was to create a memory made tangible. I mean, how do you make a profound sacrifice feel real and present, day after day, long after the person is physically gone? That was the goal here. And this is the core instruction. It's so simple but so deep. By taking part in this act, his followers weren't just eating, they were reenacting a foundational moment of self-sacrifice and making it a central part of their own identity. So what's really going on here? Well, you can break it down into three key layers. First, it's a binding promise, a lasting covenant. Second, it marks a huge shift from a physical presence to a spiritual one. And finally, it's a direct call to action. It's a blueprint for a life of selfless service. But the ritual itself isn't the end goal. It's more like a signpost, and it's pointing to something bigger, this new commandment. The instruction is to love one another with the exact same self-sacrificial quality the teacher demonstrated. And this specific kind of love, it becomes the unmistakable mark of a true follower. Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine a lighthouse. The physical elements, the bread and wine, that's the stone structure. It's essential. You need it. But the purpose of the lighthouse isn't the stone itself, right? It's the guiding light. It's the love and sacrifice that shines out, offering a beacon in the darkness. All right, now let's do a hard pivot. We're going to jump forward a few centuries to a philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, who came up with a radical and totally competing commandment for life. You know, Nietzsche's philosophy wasn't born in some comfy academic office. It was forged in the crucible of his own debilitating illness and the incredibly hard-won recovery that followed. His ideas are a direct testament to his own fight for life. He called the book where he outlines this new vision Sanctus Januarius, or Saint January. And the metaphor is just brilliant. January is a new beginning, a thawing of winter's ice. For Nietzsche, this represented a spiritual thawing, melting away all the old, life-denying values to make way for a passionate yes to life. And at the heart of this entire philosophy is his commandment, amor fati. It's Latin for love of fate. But listen, this is not about passive acceptance. It's a powerful, active, and even joyous embrace of everything that happens to you, the good, the bad, and the ugly, seeing it all as a necessary part of who you are. This quote just cuts right to the heart of it. Anybody can bear what they have to, but for Nietzsche, true greatness, real strength, comes from actively loving your destiny and transforming every single obstacle into a part of your own masterpiece. Nietzsche uses this great image of the convalescent to explain this idea. True health isn't about avoiding illness, it's about overcoming it. The recovery itself gives you a strength and an appreciation for life that someone who's always been healthy just can't understand. In this view, suffering becomes the very source of your greatest power. So we've got two incredibly powerful visions for how to live. But how do they differ on one of the most fundamental parts of being human? The experience of suffering. Does it call us to serve others, or is it there to help us build our own strength? And here is the clash in a nutshell. For the covenants of love, suffering is what connects you to humanity, calling you to selfless service. For the commandment of fate, suffering is raw material. It's the fire you use to forge your own greatness and creative power. This table really lays out the two opposing worlds side by side. Where does meaning come from? A divine sacrifice you remember, or your own creative will? What's the goal of life? Serving others or overcoming yourself? And what's the miracle? A memory made real or the thawing of a frozen spirit? They couldn't be more different. The first path promises something internal, a deep-seated peace, an assurance that stays with you, even when the world outside is in total chaos. Now compare that quiet peace with this fierce defiance from Nietzsche. This is the cry of the convalescent, the fate lover. Existence isn't about finding peace. It's a relentless, powerful declaration of the will to live, to think, and to overcome no matter what. So, we've walked through two profound visions from meaningful life. Each one has its own logic, its own beauty, and its own very demanding commandment.
So to recap the first path, meaning is found in connection, in remembering an ultimate sacrifice, and in dedicating your life to a selfless love for other people.
And the second path offers a totally different ideal. Meaning is found in individual strength, in embracing every part of your destiny, and in joyfully shaping your own existence like a work of art. A life of service rooted in a shared memory, or a life of strength forged in the love of one's own fate. Two commandments, two paths. The final question, the one we'll leave you with, is which one defines a life well lived?